Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Man here, and today we're going to be looking at how to Genji Part 4, and this is probably the last video. So let's get into it. So we're going to be learning how to use his deflect, and when to use his ult fires, and his primary and his ult fire. So Genji, like I said, is probably the hardest character to use in Overwatch, with a very low DPS kind of weapon, with her shurikens only pulling out as much DPS as Lucio, which I don't even know the exact number, so don't even. You have a slight pause when you're using your shurikens. Okay. Slight pause. With these, you have just a slight tad, well, the voice crack, tad bit of extra DPS. Right? See? So, like I said, when to use his ult fire, deflect, and his main fire, it's pretty much up to you. If you know where your target is going to lead, go ahead and use your primary fire, as you will most likely land more shots than you would with this fire. It's pre-firing because he has a lot of travel time with his shuriken. You're most likely not going to hit your target. If it's moving with this, you're going to want to pre-fire. See? For PC, it's a lot easier to aim with its pre-fire. For console, once again, most people are going to use this right here. But in my opinion, if you know where they're going, you might as well use your basic fire, as it really does help while moving your mouse or your analog stick slightly will help you get the headshots. Also, if you want to know a neat little trick with landing headshots, switch your reticle to the dot. It's more precise in my opinion. Yep. So, pre-firing, and if you can't hit your target, go ahead and use your fan fire. Okay, so your fan fire is mainly used to either get someone that's on the move that you know for a fact you can't hit, or when someone's up close to you and you know you can hit them. Like that. Because if you hit all three, you're gonna put more damage out there, and it's gonna help a lot. And moving while you're aiming does make them a little bit squishier too. But that goes with all characters, right? So, except pre-firing is a must when it comes to Genji. If you know they're weak, go ahead and finish them off with your hand. That's pretty much it for his primary. It's not that hard to use when using the ult fire, but when you're using this right here, you should be able to know how to use it. So, like I said, console, it's a lot easier to use, but otherwise, that's pretty much it. You can go ahead and finish them off with this. You don't do a lot of damage. You do very, very slight damage to the head, and it slows down your DPS if you can only hit one shuriken, as hitting all three is going to increase your DPS like crazy. And your burst is meant for long range precision, nothing pretty much else, unless you know you can hit them from close range. It's hard to use your primary fire. If you can hit headshots with your primary fire, you can pretty much annihilate everything, as you have so much constant DPS, and it's fun to use, so yeah. Now let's get on with his deflect. So, obvious characters to use this deflect on. Bastion, because Bastion Genji is arguably the best counter to Bastion, deflecting every single bullet he fires at you. If that Bastion is smart, you can use your cyber ability, which I'll have that in another episode. You can use that to counter Bastion, but we're not here in counter school. We're here in how to Genji school. So, like I said, use your deflect on the Bastion. Roadhog, because Roadhog has those huge freaking shotguns and a hook. It won't deflect and hook them for you, but just do that. But it doesn't deflect and hook Roadhog, but it does deflect the chain to where you can avoid getting hooked and staying alive longer. So yeah, that's basically with Roadhog. And if he has that long range, if you do get pulled in and he doesn't take the shot the second you get close to him, deflect immediately and aim for the head. That means you'll do some extra damage, and he might go back and just heal up. Okay. Also, something to notice is the shurikens don't have any damage fall off. So, yeah. That's good to know, but in place of that, you basically the pre-fire. But let's get on to his deflect. Reaper, because Reaper also has 2 powerful shotguns, and you can counter him greatly with that. He can blatantly fire at you while you're deflecting, laughing at him while you're hitting headshots. So, Junkrat, because he has those arcs, and you can immediately deflect and 2-shot him, because I think your deflect is enough to shoot around maybe 3 if you're lucky, but 2 guaranteed. Next thing you know, the Junkrat is dead. Farah is fun to counter with. She's easy to counter too. She's basically like a Junkrat. You just have to be more dead on. And her clearing the area thing, I have no idea what's that called, but I don't really care. You can deflect that back at her. Okay. Reinhardt is not someone you want to deflect. But if he does shoot his fiery projectile, you can actually deflect that. So use that to damage his shield. It does do 100 damage, which is great. You can counter that with maybe a turret or even damage to Reinhardt himself, or shoot that out of Mei. But let's like I said, look at the characters that you want. So Soldier 76 and Tracer. Soldier is okay. He's hard nonetheless, because he does have the sprint and the biotic field. You can deflect his helix rocket, and it will damage him back. McCree is also another fun one to counter, because you can counter his flashbang, and if you're too late with that, you can counter fire, which will completely annihilate, because you have the accuracy advantage over him. So if he fan fires, what you're deflecting goes where your crosshair is pointing, so you can be 10 times more accurate than McCree with this fanfire when he blatantly fires. You're just deflecting everything, moving your robotic arms, and you can hit headshots. Not really, but be cool if you can. But you can deflect his flashbang, use your fanfire, dash, use it again, melee. Next thing you know, you teach that McCree a lesson. With Tracer, you can deflect her ult bomb, and her ult bomb is where she throws a little tiny bomb, which is meant for destroying tanks. But yeah, and you could deflect. Oh, I'm tired. But you can deflect her little pistols, but she's probably gonna rewind to heal up or blink out of combat. And she's actually pretty hard to counter with Genji. She is forced to be reckoned with if you know how to use a Tracer. Hanzo with Scatter Arrow, that's how you can counter him, but that's pretty much it. Widow, because you can easily counter Sniper Shot and Headshot. Also, the ults on McCree is easy to deflect. Pharah too. Let's get into the supports. Symmetra, you can't deflect anything of hers. Sadly, she is a really powerful support. The only thing, she is meant to do damage instead of healing. Also, you can't deflect Zenyatta's Orb of Discords, but you can deflect his actual beams of light, which can hurt him. Mercy, Lucio, those two are the same. Ana, You can deflect her biotic grenade, her sleep dart, and her actual shooting. So she's not that hard to counter. Winston, Zarya, and Reinhardt, you can't counter their primary attacks. You can counter Zarya's secondary attack, which is the rocket. Roadhog you can counter. Diva you can counter. She does a lot more DPS than Roadhog himself, and if you hit in the head, you're basically gonna annihilate the Diva. Mei is pretty hard to counter, but that's pretty much it. Mei is Genji's worst nightmare when it comes to countering. I've went against 3 Meis before, just because of how mad they were at me, and it's not fun. So a good way to counter Mei is, like I said, the Genji Wombo combo. And the Genji Wombo combo is on the part 2 of how to Genji. So yeah. Also, if you want to know when to ult during your deflecting your ult, don't deflect during your ult unless you absolutely have to. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed this series of how to Genji. If you guys have any questions, I only have mained Genji for 11 hours, but that doesn't say nonetheless. I know what I'm doing with him. So if you have any questions, just ask me. I won't bite. Yeah, Genji is probably my favorite character in Overwatch. He's also a lot of people's favorite, aesthetically and just period. But Genji is hard to use. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. It is not that big of a deal. Also, you can't become a Genji expert overnight. You can't be like Seagull or Ginger. You can't be either one of them without some practice. Even I couldn't become like. I'm still not even like them, but they're still really skilled Genji players, a lot better than me, and you can look at their gameplay. But once again, it takes practice to use a Genji, and a good Genji can solo carry. That I'm just here to show you some little advanced tips to help you stay alive and how to do damage with it. You can't become the best Genji overnight, but if you did like the video, please leave a like and possibly subscribe. It would make my day, and be the best Genji you can. I will see you guys next time. Peace out.
Know yourself in the face of